Happy Tuesday. How y'all doing today? How you doing? I'm off work. Praise to thank the Lord. Come on, traffic. I got off a little later than normal because I came in a little bit later today. I couldn't quite get it going today, and I'm really tired right now. But hey, I did end up taking my car to the mechanic yesterday, and thankful that he said something had loosened up, the bolt or something had loosened up. So he got me back to going. He got me back in business, y'all. He got me back in business. Praise the Lord, y'all. And I'm so sick of spending money. I don't know what to do. But I had asked my yard guy, because I had that mulch look. I told you it faded. I wasn't doing that anymore. And I was going to do the rocks. And I had asked him to quote me a price. And to put the rocks out there by my garage and then, the front bed. And he quoted me the price, but rocks are not cheap. And he apparently didn't get enough. So he told me he needed 7 more bags or something another child. And I told him that was fine. It wasn't like I was going to leave half the rocks undone. He's a decent guy, so he was real nice. And he cut my front yard down again because I told you I don't know why weeds start popping. For one thing, the weather here doing its own thing. That's the first thing. Yesterday, my mechanic say, you got your boots on today? Because y'all, it was warm and it ended up being warmer than I anticipated. I thought it was going to be like 50. So I had my little boots on yesterday. Had my little hat in my car. I just left it in the car. I had my little hat on, long sleeves. I had my little jacket. I said, ooh, it's hot and it's the same situation today. But I ain't put no boots on today. I ain't put that hat on today either. No, ma'am, no, sir. I sure didn't. But it's warm out here. That's why I told y'all, you'll never know. You'll never know in Memphis and Mississippi either what you gonna get. I'm thanking God for the nice weather, though. I'm not gonna complain about the weather. That's just something I'm not gonna do, because it's a blessing when the weather's nice. I was going to work this morning. You know how you just be thinking about stuff and you going through stuff and it don't be nothing major, but that song came on by John P. Key and it just hit this morning. It's me, oh Lord, I am stand, not my mother, father, sister, or brother, but it's me, oh Lord, I am standing in the need of prayer. I love that song, y'all. And anyway, I don't know, I just thought I'd share that with y'all. It kind of hit this morning on my way to work, and I'm like, that was right on time. Just fills your cup up. I was having a conversation with someone. I done told y'all several times, my dad is originally from Memphis, and it's so funny, and we just talk about how you come to be in life. What ifs, and sometimes you think about that, what if. And so when my dad joined the Air Force, my older sister, my dad was married 3 times to all his children's mother. And my oldest sister, her mother was actually his second wife, right? So I guess they had, they were in church together and grew up in church together, but he went off and joined the Air Force. And it's just weird how, he moved and got stationed in Shreveport, Louisiana, where he met my mother, and they had my brother. They got married, and then he got stationed in the Philippines, and then they had me in the Philippines, and they stayed married until I was 5, and they got divorced. We got stationed back in the States at Lubbock, Texas, and it's just a strange thing how things happen. And they got divorced, and my mother moved back to Shreveport. My father ended up getting custody of us when I was 8, and so, we traveled around. He was stationed in Greece at the time, so we ended up staying with my grandmother here in Memphis for a year, my year of the 4th grade. And after that, we were stationed, at different bases, Little Rock, and then we were stationed at Scott Air Force Base, and then we went up to in England, we were stationed at 2 bases. For one, we were stationed at Lakenheath for 2 years, and then Mendenhall for 2 years. And so it's just funny how you think about your life and what ifs, they hadn't met. Because I think most of the time people, marry people that's in close proximity to them, I guess. And I think about my own marriage sometimes. It's not how it came that I met my husband. I met him at my doorstep. One of my friends brought him over there to help me, with driving. I had purchased a stick shift, and my daughter's godmother, her brother Stefan, he was helping both of us learn how to drive a stick shift at the time, but I still needed some more help. So that's how it all came about, with me meeting my husband and stuff. So my ex-husband, rather, y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't like I'm married right now, but and it's just funny how you think about that. And I even think about how I met my daughter's father, and it's like, that wouldn't have been somebody I would have, I'm not saying anything, but that wouldn't have probably, we don't even run in the same circles. And the same with my ex-husband. It's just like, that wouldn't have probably been anybody on the wildest day that I would have met. And if it's not for deliberate now, we wouldn't even see each other. And if it wasn't for, like, we were just happen to be going to the same place specifically, so it's just amazing. Do you ever think about how God worked that you even come to be, and that two of the most unlikely people, because to be honest with you, I don't even know how my mother and dad, they just seem so very different. How they ended up, together, and we came about. I'm thankful, that I'm here, and I thank God for me being here. And I even thank God, that whatever brief time I was with my daughter's father, that, it was a blessing, because it blessed my life with her. So it's just amazing. And then you wonder sometimes, my brother and I talk about this all the time, had my father not got custody of us, had we not grew up as military brats, what would our life be like if we would have stayed with my mother in Shreveport, or or whatever. You think about that sometimes, how God just orders your steps in your life, and how things work out, and it works out for your good. It works out. Sometimes you be thinking, oh, I wish you coulda, woulda, but your steps are ordered for a reason, and it just seems to just work out for the best for you. I got a little taste for some my girlfriend, I'm going back to that yard thing, right? And she said, you don't even have to spend that money now. You should wait till the spring. And I actually thought about it once he quoted me the price. I'm like, man, I could use that money for something else. But you know what? I said, you know what? You're going to spend that money, and you still going to, on a bunch of nothing quick. You can spend a few $100s on something quick, and then it be gone. And then you be looking, and still come the spring, I still would have to spend the money. And then I could have went on and spent it, because it wasn't like I was going to save the money and just wait till the spring, because I always got something to apply some funds to. Don't you think about that sometimes? I was looking at someone's, I was eating my lunch, and I was looking at, I can't think of the channel's name, but it's Nisi. It's Nisi. I don't know the first name. About Nisi or something like that. Anyway, she was just talking a little snippet in her vlog, and she was saying how, and I think about that all the time, how God, you wonder sometimes, you go about living your life, and you're happy in your life, and you're doing, things may not be 100% like you would like them, but for the most part, you have a good life. You have a decent life. You have ups and downs, true, but you're blessed to have a roof over your head, the necessities of life. Even if you struggle here and there, even if you got a job to go to, you're relatively have a decent amount of health, whether, like my situation, whether you have pain days or not, you just thank God for those days, and you are able to do some of the things that you like to do. And then you look, like she was saying, people over in other parts of the world that's dealing with war, dealing with poverty, even here in America, dealing with homelessness, because even my homeless situation wasn't bad as having to live out my season of homelessness. I didn't have to live on the street, and you see all of that and you just be like, God, I thank you, that it could go by the grace of God. That could have been me, or that could have been us in that situation. And sometimes you have to have some empathy, and a lot of people don't have empathy for people. They don't have, they just think about themselves sometimes, and they don't put themselves in another person's, shoes, or even thought of, what if that would have been me, or what if that would have been my family members. And I saw somebody's post thinking about, how you need to be grateful. I talk about that all the time, for whatever season of life you in, because if you actually just look around you, and I say this all the time, it's just like every time I get ready to even remotely want to have a pity party, God always has someone cross my path or something and shows me, look at God, look at your life, you are blessed. You could be there, or you could be doing worse. He always shows me somebody that I can help, that I can bless, somebody that's doing way worse, that's just trying to make it. And I tell you, y'all, they had a hold on 1 minute, y'all slipping down. They had a situation at some of these stores. I'm sorry, y'all slipped down. They had a situation at some of these stores here in Memphis. They've been getting robbed a lot, and it's just like a group of kids robbing, and they just go in and just looting the stores and doing whatever they want to do in these stores. And then and then the parents are sorry when your children are pushing up daisies and you having to make funeral arrangements for your children. But it comes a lot of times with you not disciplining your children at home. I talked to Amber last night, and I said, Amber, how many whoopings did you get as a kid? And she said, Mama, I got plenty. Maybe she was just exaggerating, by the way, y'all. I got plenty. I said, I probably can count the times on 2 hands I had to whoop you. And most of the time, it was for you running your mouth in school and acting a fool in school and them having to call my job. Because, I didn't play about that. And it wasn't that you wasn't smart, because Amber was very smart in school. The work, she did her work. It's just that she was disrupting everybody else, running her mouth. So, and I said, well, what else did you get a whooping for? Because I really couldn't recall other times. She said, well, I burnt the carpet one time. What else she tell me? I cut my hair. I cut something one time. She was a hairdresser. And she said it was something else. And then she told me one time her grandmama whooped her one time. She said because her and her little cousin, Javon, wasn't supposed to be going to the store. They wasn't supposed to be crossing the street. And she was with her grandmother, her father's mother. And she said that they went to the store with someone else. They went to the store with someone older. Because they had to be like 5 or 6 or 7 or something. They had young kids. And she said, and her grandmother was so sweet, y'all. She was one of the sweetest, most easiest going people. So I know they had to be done something that she whooped them. And she said, they took their tails across the street with whoever. They got convinced by the older child to go to the store. And they crossed the street. And so she tore their little behinds up when they got back. And I just laughed, I laughed about that. But I said, it's funny how you don't even, the fear. And I can really, now my grandmother, I can count the whoopings that my dad gave me. Probably on one hand, y'all, in all my life. But my biological mother wasn't no joke. And my grandmother, baby, my dad's mother wasn't no joke. It's the whoopings I got from her was endless. But I don't, some of them I think was not needed now. Don't. Some of them wasn't needed. And I told Amber, every whooping you got was needed. It wasn't like it wasn't needed, and I just thank God that, sometimes, and I think about that sometimes, how these kids are just out of hand sometimes, they have the parents are scared to do anything to them. And it's a different from abuse and discipline. It's a difference. And people say if you even touch a child, that's abuse. It's not. Because I'm going to tell you, if you don't handle your children at home and let them know that there are some real consequences in life, and they experience those consequences, when it's time for them to go to jail, guess what? Them jailmates and them inmates and them guards, and none of them ain't gonna think nothing about you talking about, don't touch my child. The police ain't gonna think nothing about that, because sadly the police don't think nothing about the innocent sometimes. So I'm telling you, you know, these children are, it's got to be a change. It's got to be something that's going to change where, you know, it'll get better. I don't know, because I just can't see that it can't continue down this trajectory where these kids would just have lost their minds. They don't think it's no kind of repercussions of what they want. And people say, well, it's not jobs out here. It's plenty of jobs out here. It's just not the jobs they want. And people wonder, oh, y'all, I was going to tell y'all something too. I'm not that fat. That's what I'm going to lead with. What is going on with these men? I think they are targeting a certain type of woman, of what they feel like is a certain type of woman. At my largest, I didn't have low self-esteem. So they seem like you should be grateful and they're doing you a favor when they want to talk to you or pursue you. And because you don't feel like it's a favor and you are not interested in their advances, they feel some type of way. The same man that was wanting to talk to you 15 minutes ago and thought you was, well, I don't know if they ever thought you was good looking, but they were saying you was the best thing looking since sliced bread to them, and you was so sweet, and oh, I would love to get to know you. You become all kind of FBs, which is fat B's, and I didn't want your FA no ways, and you owe anyway. You ought to be glad somebody even wants you. What is that about, y'all? Look, sir, I didn't ask you to even offer me your services and your love connection in the first place, okay? And I'm not that fat that I feel like your attention is just something I am longing for. I'm fine by myself, okay, sir? I'm like, I don't know if any other women experience this, or it's just like a target audience they're targeting or something. What is that about, y'all? First of all, sir, you seem not to have a whole lot going on for yourself. Why don't you get your life together? Because me saying no to you, and you could be just as nice as, because y'all know I am not rude. You could be just as nice as you want to be. You know, and then you got to be riddled with insults and stuff. What good is that going to do, sir? You insulting me. It's not going to hurt me. And guess what? I just want to tell y'all this. You probably will hurt a skinny person calling them fat more than you would a fat person. Fat people know they fat. They wake up looking at themselves in the morning. It ain't like it's new to me. I mean, good grief. That ain't no insult. That lets me know you can see. Find something else to say, because that ain't it. Okay, that's not it. Well, yo, what's up with that? What's up with these men? Some of the men, I'm not saying all men, I'm just saying some men, they just done got besides themselves with the foolishness. Somebody done hit the stop sign. Oh, Lord. The stop sign and the street sign all down over there. They coming along, y'all. I'm gonna be nosy. Let's go be nosy, y'all. Let's go be nosy. Ooh, they got some more houses going up down here on the new street. Ooh, look like partner over there asleep. He taking him a siesta. Okay, siesta. There they are, y'all. My model home is going like $80,000 more than what I paid for it. They still got quite a few lots. They got the poles and the plums, I guess, up for it, but they still got quite a few anyway. Okay, I'm back, y'all. I just wanted to be nosy to see how they was coming along. They got quite a few lots. But they got about 7 or 8 houses I didn't count back there. They done got going. Ooh. I wonder how long it's gonna take them to actually finish this neighborhood. I ain't in no hurry because we don't have to pay the HOA until, it's not very expensive, but we don't have to pay it until, you know, oh, excuse me, until they actually get through. He's still out here with my yard, child. And he over here, he trying to do my neighbor yard. Y'all, I done just drove up in my garage. And the yard man still out here, so we gonna go look at it. He over to my neighbor, so I guess he trying to do both our yard at the same time. Hold on, y'all. We gonna get out and be nosy. This what it's looking like so far, y'all. He putting the rocks in there. He over there, he trying to do 2 yards at one time, bless his heart. But yeah, that stopped me from having the what's the name, the what's the name in there. Oh, I can look at it over here and I can show y'all, because I'm getting a mixture of them. See, I'm getting some of the pebble stones too in there, because I didn't want mine to look just like everybody else's. But anyway, so that's that for that. Okay, y'all, I finally got his attention, and I was out there talking to him about my yard, and he was telling me I'm actually a little hungry, y'all, so I'm getting ready to eat part of this apple. He was just telling me he had underestimated the count, and he cuts Amber yard too, and he was saying that Amber had told me he had lost his blower, and he said he figured out what happened to it. He said he didn't pay no attention to it, but some guy had driven up by his truck, and he said he believed he stole it off his truck. And I told him I was sorry to hear that. I said, yeah, she said she went out there looking for it for you, but she didn't see it. So that was that for that. So that'll be done. I told him, yeah, that mulch was looking terrible, and I just couldn't do it no more. He said, well, you don't have to worry about that again. So I was glad of that, y'all. I'm gonna put this other half in a bag. Did I tell you I had some tuna salad for lunch? But it wasn't enough. I didn't eat that much. But I'm just a little hungry. Anyway, I hope y'all having a good day. Have an apple. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. I used to say that when I was a little girl. I don't know how true it is. Anyway, I'm going to get out here. Thank y'all for joining me today just on my ride home. I want you to know that you're loved. I love you, and God truly loves you the most. Remember to always be kind to yourself and others. Be joyful and be blessed. And I'm not that fat, y'all. That's, I don't know. Anyway, y'all let me know in the comments what I was talking about earlier. Love y'all. Bye.